draconian European rules would result in UK fishing vessels being treated as those of a foreign nation in their own waters, a new analysis has claimed. One industry leader accused UK politicians who have acquiesced to the Northern Ireland Protocol of stark hypocrisy, and warned the situation could get worse. The situation is outlined in a report published by the Campaign for an Independent Britain, CBUC, featuring research by the Facts4U think tank. CBUC cites as an example Kilkeel in County Down, which faces out to the Irish Sea, and whose harbour shelters the largest fishing fleet in Northern Ireland. If the protocol were to operate in the way that the bloc visualizes it, any trawler registered and based in Kilkeel setting off and catching its legitimate quota in British fishing grounds would not be permitted to return to its own port to land its catch unless it complies with additional and substantial EU red tape. The instant any Northern Irish boat would, leaving its own port in a part of the United Kingdom, it would become a boat from an EU third country according to the letter of the law. They would have the option of landing catches at a British mainland port in Scotland such as Campbelltown, Troon or Fleetwood, but for any catch landed at a British mainland port to go to Northern Ireland would require the completion of customs forms countersigned by a vet as an independent witness. The only reason why such boats are not subject to such rules now is the UK government insisted upon introducing a 6-month grace period whereby the EU's protocol rules would not be applied by the UK authorities, introduced very much against the will of bureaucrats in Brussels. Alan McCullough, CEO of ANIFPO said, "The majority of fishermen here voted leave in 2016 and despite the challenges would do so again if asked." Historic EU quota sharing arrangements that penalised Northern Ireland's fishermen in favour of their southern colleagues has ended, and in fact we have an increased share of catches in the Irish Sea. However, the hypocrisy of politicians who trumpet the narrative that the protocol has avoided a hard land border, while burying the fact that it has failed to avoid a hard sea border for our fishing industry, is stark. Nobody in London, Dublin or Brussels wanted to discuss the fact that things could get worse, Mr. McCullough stressed. He added, "We really do want to see the Brexit arrangements work for all parts of the UK and indeed Ireland." However, the various grace periods, dovetailing with an overall strategy designed to kick the can down the road, is hiding what could well happen in the longer term. The UK government had adopted a unilateral approach which conveniently cushioned Northern Ireland's fishing fleet from the worst aspects of the protocol, Mr. McCullough pointed out. Referring to the point about Northern Irish ships being treated as foreigners in their own land, he said, "We continually highlight this to officials and politicians alike who do not dispute what is a fact." What puzzles us can be their answer. Now isn't the time to raise these issues in the negotiations. What we don't hear is when they judge will be the time. Hence our conclusion that the strategy is simply to kick the can down the road. Actions do speak louder than words, and here is one example where there have been a lot of words. A DEFRA spokesman said, "We've been clear that we need to fix the protocol, which is causing major problems on the ground. As we've repeatedly said, if there's no movement from the EU, we will have no choice but to take action, and the government will set out more detail shortly." Fishing vessels registered to ports in Northern Ireland are currently only required to meet pre-existing obligations when landing their catch into ports in Northern Ireland, such as those outlined in the Fisheries Control Regulation. Support and guidance to businesses on their current obligations under the Northern Ireland Protocol is available on Gov.uk.